Hi, I'm Mike Symes of Financial Marketing TV, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Mr. Oliver Chadwick, who is CEO of Vision Critical. We're delighted to have Oliver on board with us today, not least because we've gone through a significant period of recession, obviously, in the UK. We're particularly interested in what role Vision Critical has had to play within that.
Well, thank you. It's interesting you pick up on the fact that this has been a very strange 2 years.
Yes.
I think you're looking back and seeing how each recession has come and gone. Vision Critical's time could not be more right. We are in the cusp of recovery, but with it, everybody's information available to their bank, to their lenders, is going to be based on the last 2 years of their performance, which, not unsurprisingly, won't be their finest couple of years of trading.
Yes. And what about the aspect of fraud? I mean, how has Osmo tackled that real problem?
It can give you a classic example. If you sell more than you're buying, you should be making a profit. If you've been selling more than you've been buying for a while, you presumably haven't got anything to sell and you're printing invoices. We can tell a lender within a very short window of time that that company is not buying enough to be able to be selling what it's selling.
So you're spotting fresh air?
Absolutely. Very early on.
Yeah.
Weeks and weeks in advance of where current reports provided by their lender, the borrower in effect to the lender, are at the moment. And the accuracy of that, given the historics of the business, we can determine whether or not that company is essentially performing a fraud. Similarly, if it's not bought anything, we can understand that that's a fraud. But if it's got too much stock and isn't selling enough, that's just as useful to know. It may not be a fraud, but that business will go bust.
And what about the sort of counterintuitive aspects, where we're talking really about organisations that are going for it as a result of gaps being created by competitors losing their businesses? Obviously, we've got the upside that potentially competitors can lend more.
In the context of lending, yes. I can see why lenders would wish to increase the amount they lend to their customer. It's a natural thing to do when you're faced with price competition and availability. However, being certain the amount that you're lending is accurate and the requirement of the business is genuine is a trick that we can help them pull. The trick is in understanding that that business has genuine trading activity and isn't essentially producing invoices again simply in order to gain a higher value of that borrowing.
Yes.
It also means that if we can increase the accuracy of the data and the reporting, the amount that's borrowed can be very sensitive to the true requirements of the business. So, an example is, if I have a credit note and it's a proper value for that credit note, it will dilute the amount that I'm able to borrow from my lender. Lenders are not aware of all the amounts of credit notes that all their clients have, so they overestimate, therefore to protect themselves. In overestimating, the effect is the borrower gets access to less money. If you can be accurate and precise about these sorts of issues in the covenants of that agreement, you can lend accurately the right sum of money, which from our experience will be more than by way of these rather crude values that are placed that cumulatively have the effect of reducing the amount that's lent.
Yes.
I think it's true, Mike, is it not, that the market has lent traditionally between 58 and 61% of the invoice values.
Indeed, yes.
I'm confident those numbers should be higher, and that's down to the accuracy of the information.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course the remit of Vision Critical has extended now beyond the asset-based lending sphere.
Absolutely, Mike. Yeah, we're looking at a number of areas. A lot of them basically go back to invoices or the tedious process that someone who's buying services has to rekey critical data into a computer portal, website, call it what you will, in order to take full advantage of those same services. If you can remove the double key entry, you can improve the service, and the accuracy of the data helps the pricing be sharper. In areas like foreign exchange, electronic payment processes, management of payables processes, supply chain finance, just a number of examples where if you can get the data into the systems quickly, accurately, and without effort, frictional costs evaporate, and you get a stickability of service.